everybody, welcome to the Carlos Baerga show. Do not adjust your set. Gav is on a break. This is Rafa Hernandez Brito talking to you, and I am joined I am joined by el número 9, Carlos Baerga, el original número 9, the original número 9.
Mansaldo, I am the number 9, okay?
And just because we have always positive Jake with us, we're going to call you today always striking out, Carlos.
No, I don't like to strike out. I always put a ball in play, and that's something that I really love. But you know what? This is coming from the local Infinity dealers, Infinity of Beechwood and Infinities of Akron. So you know that.
Así es. Jake, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, guys. I mean, we could have won that game last night. That would have been really nice, but we'll get them back today. And
there's always another day in baseball.
Still win this series. Yes, it's a long season, like we said. It's got its ups, it's got its downs.
The Guardians
I'll have my maybe a little rant later today, but it is what it is right now.
And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Well, obviously, we're going to have the headlines, like Carlos said, brought to you by Infinity of Beechwood and Infinity of Akron. And we will welcome another second baseman to the studio, Mr. Jason Kipnis, who was part of what I think is also a big moment in the history of the franchise of Cleveland Guardians Indians.
It was so close.
The 2016.
Ryan Davis hit that ball. We're going to be talking to him in the second segment. But you know what? I got something for you guys. Yesterday, I know we lost a game. We fight. Allen pitched pretty good. People see the game, but are hitting. We let 8 guys on base. And we make some errors, and we need to cut those down, Rafa, because when you don't have a big offense, and you make errors, and I think we are 24 in the league in errors.
We have the third most errors in baseball right now.
Wow, we need to cut that out because they're gonna score every time we make an error. They score.
Yep, and yesterday that's one of the things that, even though I'm one of the glass half full type of guy instead of glass half empty. I think you got to take into consideration that we're coming from winning 2 big series on the road. We finally, this is after being swept to start the road trip. So I think we still have a chance to win the series, but obviously before we win it, we have to tie the series in the second game. And our starting pitcher has been really good in this month of April, which is something that our offense have not been able to really take advantage of. But eventually, I think in these days of summer, the dog days of summer that they call, that's the way the ball bounces. That's the way it is in baseball. When you win some, you lose some. If you lose 62, you still had a great season. So I don't think it's like a moment of alarm for the Guardians, but yes, the mistakes defensively are the ones that always, either that or the base on balls, they always come back and give you the bill.
Because our team showed that we can come back. Yesterday we came back and we put the game 6-4 with the homer, and then they score, and we came back again with another homer from Mansaldo. So we had the team to do it. You say something, when you was talking about our pitching stuff this month, 319, the ERA, the relievers 246. So we was doing a good job through yesterday, but today we need to come back and do it again. But you know what? I had the conference after the game yesterday from Steve Buck. Let's listen to this.
Didn't quite have his command in the first inning, and they jumped him for 2. But I thought after that, Logan got locked in and was really good. Threw a ton of strikes. Weak contact gave us a chance. We had a couple opportunities early, weren't quite able to cash in, but made a great comeback, and they kind of took it away. But I thought Logan, after the first inning, I thought he was outstanding.
Did Lauer do so well early on against you guys?
It looked like, I haven't seen any replays, but it looked like from the side, the curveball really got us slowed up. The fastball has a lot of sneaky life. The metrics it doesn't show up on the numbers, but from the side, you could see it's got some jump, it's got some life. He was hitting the top rail with his slider. He just was pitching. We just couldn't seem to get that big hit. When we did get stuff going, we couldn't get a whole lot going off of him. But, tip your cap.
What do you think of the fight you guys had in getting back into the game?
Yeah, we don't quit. Great to see Lane and Manzo and Carlos, drive one out of the ballpark. Jonesy with a great swing off the bench. There's a lot of highlights from tonight. Just unfortunately, they scored a lot more runs than we did.
How important is it for you going forward for Lane to have a night like you did?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, anytime our guys are getting multiple hits, they're hitting multiple balls hard, they're getting working walks. It was great. I thought we came out sluggish tonight. I thought it looked like we had a West Coast trip, and we just didn't look like ourselves today. It was hot. Those are all excuses. We need to be better. But we just didn't look like ourselves all night tonight.
Heading into the game, you guys had 50 errors on the year. You had 3 tonight. I know defense was such a staple for you guys last year. How do you get back into what you guys did?
We've been playing great defense. We've had a couple games lately with a couple errors, but we've been playing great defense. Our guys, these are one-offs. We play solid defense. That's who we are. So I don't get too concerned over the errors because they seem to be clumped together in games. But obviously it's not like us to make those mistakes and give teams extra bases. Walks and errors have killed us. They have, and we know that. We're working on it. But that's why we are who we are. We're going to show up tomorrow ready to go. We got this one out of our way. I think our guys are going to show up real hungry, come out and play with some fight tomorrow.
Well, he just say we need to come back. We are fighters. That's why our team, never gonna give up. But we need to play better baseball.
I think we will. And I don't know about you guys, but that's the way the game is in baseball. You hit 3 homers.
Yes.
You got to look at the good side as well. Lane Thomas is finally hitting the ball in that number 2 spot, which has been a really sore spot for the Guardians. Carlos Santana is continuing to make good contact. Mansardo finally got off the Schneider and hit the homer. So I'll take those things for the next 5 games of the homestand, as opposed to just concentrating on the bad mistakes that we had, especially the one that Martinez had on second base. I think that's the one right before the grand slam from Springer that kind of broke the camel's back when we were trying to make the comeback. Stay where you are. Speaking of comeback, we're going to come back with our visitor, Jason Kipnis, right here on the Carlos Baerga Show.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, the lowest pricing, and same hometown level of service. Visit fairwayfordohio.com today.
Guys, we are having fun, and we are going to have more fun today because I have one of the special guests brought to you from Smart Choice Window. We have today with us Jason Kipnis. What an honor to have you here today. Very special. We got Rafa, we got PJ with us today. Jason, you got drafted by San Diego Padres. You know that I signed with the San Diego Padres?
I just learned that right now.
I signed with the San Diego Padres, but I see you got drafted in 2008, the 4th round, but then you decide to stay with Arizona State University. Then you signed 2 years, a year later, with the Cleveland Guardians as a 2nd round. Tell me about that situation. Why you stayed?
So I redshirted my first year in college, so I didn't lose any eligibility. So then I played 1 year at Kentucky as a sophomore, but as like a freshman of your eligibility. So I had 3 years left. Transferred to Arizona State, played 1 year, so it was like a sophomore then, and then I got drafted. So I still had 2 years of eligibility. So if you go back where you only have 1 year of eligibility, you kind of lose most of your bargaining power in the draft and all that stuff. But I had still an extra year to go back if I wanted to. I didn't know much about the draft, the process, any of it. After the first year that I got drafted by San Diego, I didn't know that almost everybody inside the top 5 get drafted that they sign, more or less. I think I was just unaware. I probably didn't have the right people talking to me and telling me what to do, to be honest. So if I did, I would have gone back and signed there. But no, I'm thrilled with the way it played out. But I just didn't know. I'm happy I did. I thought I could go back and improve my draft stock, and ended up doing just that and moved up a couple rounds and got drafted by Cleveland.
Awesome.
And considering what happened after that, I would imagine that you're grateful. 2016 was also very special, not only for the Guardians, the Indians back in the day, but also for the whole city of Cleveland with the whole championship effect with Stipe Miocic, with the Monsters, with the Cavs, and you guys coming very close against your hometown team and your team going up. What were you feeling around that time, just facing the Cubs after being a Cubs fan, and not only that, but being in that big show, the Fall Classic?
Cleveland was the center of the sports world in 2016.
Yeah,
100%. 100%. When the Cavs, the Indians at the time, Stipe, everything, the place was rocking. The city was glowing. Like, it was the place to be. It was awesome. And you give credit not only to the teams, but you have to give credit to the fans in the city that showed up, the way they showed up every game for all their sports teams. And Don't even need to mention the Browns. They show up for the Browns. We know that.
Don't say it like
At
that.
the end of the day, it's a
We know
football
they show up for the
town.
Browns,
We love
but
you.
they showed up for us too, and it was special. And it was beautiful too. But it was weird to play your hometown team, the one that you grew up. So I mean, I grew up watching both Sox and Cubs. I went to both. I went to maybe even more Sox games with my family,
Okay.
but I went to more Cubs games with like I did sports camps when I was a kid, and we went field trips there. So I definitely grew up on both, but I was closer on the north, growing up on the north side to the Cubs. And you're just like I knew the lovable losers, or like I knew like their whole drought and all that stuff. Just growing up there, and then now I'm playing them, and it's their first time back in the World Series, and you're playing them, and you're like,
Come
oh,
on.
shit! I gotta be the one to extend this.
To show up.
And it's like I have some of my best friends are season ticket holders for the Cubs, but I give credit to my inner circle, and that's why they're my inner circle, is that as soon as it was us versus the Cubs, they were Cleveland the entire way. They didn't root for the Cubs.
They
for 1
didn't come
second.
up with those like
They
half
even
and
said
half
that-
shirts. and
Not
stuff.
even close. Not even close. They slept in my place during like the playoffs. They were
Okay.
they were like, it was like a sleepover. They were just hanging out, and they gave me the confidence to just go out there and play hard. And it's like you almost have to adopt that like villains mentality where it's like, because you're like, if I win, you're gonna piss off everyone. But then you switch and you're like, oh, I want to piss off everyone. You're like, I want my whole family to be staring at me at the end of the dinner table because I beat their team or something. Like, so
Yeah.
I had teachers in the crowd. I had friends' parents. I was being called a traitor in the on deck circle. I was getting
Oh,
it
my
from
God.
start to finish throughout that series, and I loved it too because I had adopted the right mentality to take it head on.
And the thing is that you hit 295, 2 homers, 5 RBIs in the World Series. So you made
We played well.
We put the ball in play.
We had some good ones.
Yes.
No, it was one of those ones where you wake up with just so much adrenaline from the minute your eyes open. You're like locked in. Because that's all you need to be. That's all the world revolves around. That's all your world revolves around right then. And so it's like you wish you could play like that every day, but you just can't because not every game means that much. Not every game's a World Series game, and it's hard to like recreate that. But you just wake up and you're just like, my job is to have the best game I can today, and it's such a beautiful thing to play in games like that where it's just like they're just a different animal, and it's so much fun to be a part of.
Usually when there's a series like that being played, it's always like, what if this guy had this? What if this pitcher had this?
We got
that?
a couple of those.
Are you more on the what if it didn't rain in that game 7, the 9th inning?
Sure. Yeah. Because after
I'm waiting for you,
after
Pierre.
after Rajay's home run, we had all the momentum.
All the
they were
momentum.
stunned. They were on their heels. You could ask them, and if they say otherwise, they're lying. They knew
Yeah.
it. They were stunned. We had them. So if you want to, I don't blame it as much as just
Just the way the game is.
the way the game
Yeah.
the game played.
One guy wins only.
One guy wins only.
The way the
they-
cookie crumbles.
PJ,
Well, in '98, when they still were the lovable Cubs and we didn't hate them that much like we do now, how fun was it as a fan to be a Cubs fan and watching what Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire and people forget King Griffey Jr. was in there for that to be as a baseball player? What was that like to watch?
Well, I
as a Cubs
appreciate you
fan?
adding Griffey because a lot of people forget his name into that, like when they talk about like the home run races and all that stuff, and he was absolutely a part of those right there. It's just the Sosa McGuire '98 and the home run races that they went on. Like, I'll put it this way: I'd be playing basketball in my driveway with friends, and like during those years, it's like your mom comes out the garage door. She's like, Sammy's up next inning, and it's like the game's paused. Everybody runs in to watch the at bat. Like it was a thing. Same thing like when I grew up on the Bulls, so I'm a Jordan guy. I know, but I am. I grew up on them, and
I'm
it's
the
just like,
Cleveland fan like Jordan, but
yeah,
I was
I grew up on them. Like I waited outside for the caricature T-shirts after the parades, all that stuff. But it's like people got together for Bulls games, and it was like and all that stuff. But then when Sammy was there, it's just like if he was up or you knew the inning prior, you're like, hey, get to a TV. You got about 2 minutes before he's up, and it's like it was just captivating, and it just made you absolutely fall in love with the game.
I loved it, like at ESPN. Anytime any one of those three were up to bat, they would stop whatever they were doing,
Yep.
cut right to them. And baseball, man, that was just top notch stuff.
It was amazing time. I had to ask you this question. You guys beat the Toronto Blue Jays, one of the best lineup in the game at that time. You went play Chicago, went up 3-1. Did you ever thought did something happen through your mind? We're gonna lose this?
No. It's not nothing like that. At no point, and I give our team credit, at no point did we ever start coasting. At no point did we ever we got this. We thought it was over because we were up 3-1. We tried to lock in more, but it's just hard to beat teams twice through their order again. So you just, same thing when Boston won back in their year, where it's like you had Pedro, Schilling, and Lowe or someone coming back around, or whoever it was. And it's like, okay, we know we have Arrieta, Lester, and Hendricks coming right. We're going to have to do it again. We did it once. We got to do it again, or just get one of them. So it's that last one's always the hardest one to get.
And that team was loaded, too. I think they
it was a great team.
In, a run differential.
Clearly, they won. It was a great team.
Of gamers in that team.
So do
guys
we.
We experience. That's what I always say.
We didn't have anybody really.
We don't have that experience. They have. That's why I like that team.
They had that the Lester, Lackey. They had guys who had that experience.
Yeah.
We had. I don't know if we had anybody who had ever played in the World Series before on our team. Yeah.
Nobody at that time.
All right, so let's talk about the fun stuff. 2003, you're what, 16 years old?
I love that that's not the fun stuff.
Yeah,
it is until
because they're asking, they're talking about something that didn't involve losing.
Yeah.
2003, you were 16 years old. I don't know if you were still living in Norfolk, Illinois, where you were born or whatever, but your neighbor is at the baseball game between the Marlins and the Cubs, and he just happened to get involved in the game.
Yeah. So he's talking about Steve Bartman. What happened with him? He got scapegoated by the entire
I hate the fact that they only blame him when everybody went for the ball.
It's unbelievable. There was a downright awful what they did to him. They just made him like this person where he just got crucified for it. But no, he was not right next door, but he was down the street a little bit. Don't know him at all. So if you hear any stories that I was like best friend, I'm not best friends with. I don't think I've ever met the guy. I think he was closer to my oldest sister's age. But for like a month to 2 months after that had happened, there was probably 3 to 4 cop cars outside his house every day, every night, just watching his house.
I understand fan is short for fanatics, but sometimes fans go way too far.
For everybody that doesn't know who Steve Bartman is, he's the guy that got in the fight, fought the fly ball with Moises Alou, right?
Alou.
Every single year, you're going to see some highlight of some fan reaching over for a foul ball. It happens today.
But that ball, it was 4 or 5 people going after it. It just so happened to land in his pizza, in his slice of pizza.
Like Mookie Betts' glove up this year, or Trout's glove, or like they hold his wrist or something. I get the initial reaction to go after it as a fan. You're holy crap, it's coming at me. I might be able to catch one. I get it. There's some fans who are great about it. Hey, you're in the first row. Depending on who's up, if we're on offense, let's reach over and get it. We might be able to take a home run. If it's not, let the defender go after it. There's some fans who are great about it and smart about it. But to crucify the guy and to paint him as like the reason they lost is just you're what was it? Alex Gonzalez's error happened. You had a couple other stuff that happened that played a much bigger part into that role than some guy reaching for a foul ball innocently.
I want to ask you, because you guys win 22 games in a row at home.
Yeah, that was 17.
That was 17?
Yeah.
That wasn't 16?
That wasn't 16.
That wasn't 17. But there was special. The fans was special.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about, how important that was for you guys to see this ballpark park every day.
You know how many games of the 22-game streak I played?
You.
No. You was hurt?
I was hurt.
Wow.
Maybe that's why they won. But and you can attest to this, when a team's on a winning streak and you're hurt or something like that, you're like, I'm not fucking coming back until we lose. Because we're gonna lose the first game I'm back, and everyone's gonna be like, this is why we're losing. I was like, but it was almost like they're like, are you ready to play? And I was just like, still a little sore. I was like, I'm not rocking the boat. This is awesome. Let's keep going right now. But the fans and the sellouts and all that stuff, I mean, you guys had it almost 455 in a row. And this place too, especially because if you played in every single stadium sold out, and you had to rank them on like noise level and thing,
Oh yeah,
Cleveland
for sure.
is up there.
I mean, they had we won't promote their company because we have a competitor, but a bunch of people got free windows from that 22-game win streak.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You know what?
So-
we just came up with 2 trivia questions about the 22-game winning streak. We just found out that Jason Kipnis plays 0 games.
Wow.
Do you know who threw the first
We don't have to
pitch?
tell that.
Do you know who threw the first pitch on the game that was supposed to be 23 in a row?
No.
There we go.
I'm the Cleveland Steve Bartman.
Wasn't me.
Spanish guy right here from El Salvador.
And
Not Fernando
I
Brito.
wanted Sandy to catch the ball.
No way.
And somebody, I think it was Bart or somebody said no because what was the name of the Cuban pitcher? No, Cuba. He had Cuban
Doesn't narrow it
accent.
down.
Huh?
Doesn't narrow it down.
Yeah. But he was like, no, he's been catching and we want to keep the streak. I'm like, okay, well, he can catch it.
So wait, so the guy who had
Salazar.
been catching all the other ones?
Yeah. So they made him catch it. And
You
then I was
kind of
like,
have to
okay.
go with that one.
I wanted Sandy with me, so
Good. So it was you.
I
that blew
did throw the
streak.
first pitch
Good.
on that game. I forget the date, but it was like I felt so bad.
If I get to live my dream and ever throw out first pitch, I'm going to start the next winning streak.
You're gonna start.
There you go.
Good,
There you
good,
go.
good. This is time, man. He go to the games every day. And Gav she's not here with us today. She is a gamer.
I think
Last
she went
year,
to
of
70 games
81
over.
77 games.
Ooh.
She's
Ooh.
always go to the games.
No, there's some
over.
diehards, and that's like the cool part about playing here for so long. After so many years of seeing the same faces, it's like you're gonna run into them at some point. So I've learned names. I'm friends with just fans from over the years, and like still stay in touch with them to this day.
Yeah.
Like people who are just fans, just who are like season ticket holders, because I know them so well. Where it's just like I've had so many interactions where it's like I still like I DM with some, I text with some, like I still have just become friends with fans, and it's amazing. And but I stand by it. I was like, you've asked other players too to like rank stadiums when it's rocking. They're like, ooh, is it tough to play in Cleveland?
It is.
So I played 20 years of shortstop in the one game. They decided, they were like, oh, we're going to stick you in the
On
outfield.
MLB The Show?
No, in softball. God, no, I can't play with golf.
PlayStation, Papi, or what?
And I just could not judge the ball anymore in the outfield. And you made that transition, and it wasn't. You did it pretty damn good. How hard was that for you to actually make that transition from second to playing outfield? And I think you did it in the playoffs, correct?
They gave me about 2 weeks before the playoffs to get used to it, to just like, hey, but so it was when I was coming back from injury. So there was a lot of moving pieces. So I get hurt. Hosey moves to second.
Yes.
Urshela moves to third, and Urshela's glove is
Unbelievable.
beautiful. He is an amazing third baseman, defensive guy.
Still is.
Yeah. So our infield was rocking defensively. Bradley Zimmer was center field,
How are you?
and he slid into first base and broke his hand.
Yes.
And so I was like, the idea was being tossed around, and they're like, "Do you think you could do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I could do that." I was like, I grew up as an outfielder. I mean, I grew up like playing shortstop, but then high school
You signed as a center fielder.
and college, I was an outfielder.
Yes.
And then they literally at Instructs, which is like after the season, basically, it's like a spring training postseason. They bring me in there. They're like, "We want to see something," and they give me an infielder's glove. And Travis Fryman takes me onto the side field. They hit me ground balls, and it looked probably ugly as hell. Well, I mean, it did for 10 years, but I made the play. And they're like, and I didn't see my outfield glove until they asked me to go back. But like, I was always in my mind an outfielder. And there's probably a lot of fans who are like, yeah, we know. In my mind, I was. So tracking the ball, running it down, getting good jumps, I'm not going to have may not be as fast as the fastest center fielders, but I'm going to cover it. And if I get to that ball, it's being caught. So, and like people are like, well, you don't have the arm. I was like, well, how many people are being thrown out by the center fielder?
Yes.
It's like, it's really not that many. So it's like, you just get it in fast and all that stuff. But it's different. The only thing that took a little bit to get used to, there were two things. The third level of a stadium, because I played in college outfield. So it's like, but once you get that third one where you pick up the ball faster in the sky, but it's like now it still has to go through this third level of the stadium. So you're like, where is it? And then just the speed of the ball off the bats of these professional hitters. So I was like, even if it was metal bats and college hitters, I could track this ball. And there was one, I don't know if it was like a Moncada or something that hits one into the gap, and Brantley was in left field. And I thought I got the best jump on it. I was like, I'm cutting this baby off. And Brantley's like laughing. He's like, back. And he's like, this thing was off the middle of the wall. And I was like, all right. I was like, they're a little bit stronger here. I was like, those balls carry a little bit better here. So that was a small adjustment, but like otherwise, I got to everything and caught everything and I get it in. And it's like, that was my job. I'm not trying to set the world on fire. They weren't asking me to. They're like, hey, there's 2 weeks till playoffs. We need a center fielder. Can you do it? I was like, I got it.
Well, I couldn't do it.
You know what I like about you? That you was a hard-nosed player. You want to play every day. You want to be in there. And that's something that the fans and the guys that used to play, they love that foreign player. And you to be in there, first of all, you came up as a center fielder, and then you became a second baseman. You remind me kind of like a Mookie Betts style, kind of like something like that.
I appreciate
you
that.
Have that body, stuff like that. Playing right next to Francisco Lindor.
Yeah.
You know, a guy that, everybody know that the kind of player he is. How fun it was.
He made my job easier. The whole left side of the infield, him and Jose, made my job easier.
Yes.
So it's like they're so good at what they do, they make me better, is the way that I word it, where it's like you're not worried about the ball getting there on time or in the chest. It's like it's getting there on time and into the chest. They're that good. And, Lindor is one of the best defensive shortstops this game's seen in a long time. And Jose could play probably any. Jose came up as a shortstop.
Yes.
He was our shortstop in
Yes.
13. He broke camp that way. So like he can play any position. He's just like Jose's a gamer too. Jose's a guy who Lindor as well. They just show up every day, like I said, and like you don't just need 1 or 2. You need a whole lineup of those guys, I think, to win.
Anything that Jose do every day, they surprise you? Or
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Okay.
Early on, it did. Early on, because you go through that transition though. Like he got sent down and right when he got called up, so he broke camp, struggled, which often a lot of people do. Gets sent down, comes back up, and it's just like you could tell that he's like it was like a little bit of a kind of like fuck you to him, whereas like in a good way. And I sorry if I can't swear on this, but
We're
like,
all internet.
in a good way where he's like, no, I'm doing this, and it's just like that's where that George Jefferson walk started coming. That's where that like and. But you want to talk about someone who's just like this the whole way. Quiet, hard-nosed, like plays the game the right way. He's awesome. And like that's a guy who's showing up. He might not be the most vocal guy in the locker room even right now, if I had to guess. Like he's undoubtedly the leader of this team, but he's just probably by example is the way he does it the best way.
Well, for those of you guys watching us here on the Big Play Network, we don't want you to go too much long away from watching the Guardians and listening to us in Spanish on CLEGuardiansTV.com. But Jason Kipnis is doing the games in English. So the question to you is, harder, easier the game between the lines or in front of the mic?
It's a little harder to hit pitching than it is just to talk about it. just a touch. But it's something different. It's something new. Listen, I don't pretend to be the brightest crayon in the box. I'm not the smartest guy, but what we do know is baseball because we played it. So we can talk about that. That's what I think we're the most skilled into, and it's our field to be able to talk about this stuff. So I think it's fun to come in, but again, it's new. I had butterflies yesterday. I was like nervous. I was like, oh,
that's great.
I hope I don't say anything wrong or something stupid or call them the Indians or something like that. Like there's just a lot of stuff that I think I said. Do people call them the tribe anymore, or is that just that die off with Indians?
People do. I don't. Not on TV.
I still do, just because I love saying it. I love.
I thought that would.
I love Roll Tribe.
I thought that would have been a great game, a great name, just to stick with what they had. But
a lot of people wanted that. And to answer your question, it's easier to do this because I'm clearly doing this right now.
It's fun, but it brings its own new challenges. But no, it's not. I wasn't sore this morning after doing this game. I don't need a hot tub or to stretch before doing it.
Especially after yesterday's game, it was like,
you know what? Actually, I was a little sore with how sweaty and like how hot it got. It was just, I was dehydrated almost. Where it's just like you just didn't realize how much you were sweating out just sitting there.
Oh, because you started.
You're out in center field.
You started
oh my god, that ain't in the shade either. It's fun. It's fun.
So I heard that you like to sing on the field beforehand. What was your favorite pregame song to sing? And for anyone asking, I already tried to get him to sing. He's not doing it.
Yeah. You can hear the little horse. We haven't. I gotta get back with my vocal coaches here, but no. I wish I was a good singer. I'm not. I'm either a good bad singer or a bad good singer. I'm not good at all. I love music. I enjoy singing, even though it sounds like crap and probably only sounds good to me.
You're a dancer. You are Lindor. Boom, boom.
I'm one of those guys
boom,
like
boom,
everyone's singing to
boom.
the song, and if the music stopped and you hear just the person singing, you're like, oh my god, what the hell is that song? but it's like I think it keeps you loose. I think in our pregame routine where we would have when I was playing, it's like, did you ever use like the Red Hot?
Yes.
So I would use Red Hot all the time on my back and like
My
all
back
that.
and my legs.
So you get in the hot tub and Red Hot's that it just makes you feel like your skin's on fire pretty much, but it like creates circulation. I'd rather, and this is why we're idiots, where it's like I'd rather feel like my skin's on fire than feel the soreness of that. So you do that. So every time it's like there are people knew it's like at the same time with my routine, I'd come in at like a certain time and they would push play. Almost like the Wild Thing entrance where it's like, oh, it's him. They push it and it'd just be like this upbeat song or something. And I would just come in, like you have no shirt on, you're like just sliders. And this guy's like waiting with 2 gloves of just like Red Hot, gets me on the back. Fun part would be you scream, I'm like, light him up. And he just goes straight nipples. So now I'm just like, oh boy, let's do this. I'm ready. Let's get going. It's just like,
hey, that's the fun thing that we have in the clubhouse. Nobody knows that.
I know.
Nobody, that's what I miss.
Me too.
I miss the clubhouse. I miss to be with the players. I miss to, to have fun. To see you on the door dancing before the game, like the Casey brothers, they're kind of crazy like that. So that's something that I really miss, Rafa. It's something very special. It's something every time they do an event. I said to Bobby and Curtis, I said, come on, bring the guys like on the August 29th that I want to invite everybody to the ballpark. It's going to be the anniversary for the 1995 team. Don't miss it. Everybody going to be there. So it's special. Every time we are together, it reminds us so many good things.
You could tell, and I obviously going through success and all that stuff, but playing together for a long time, you guys can tell how close our team was in like 16 and those teams, and you could tell how close you guys were too.
It was kind of kind of the same. I see you guys having fun even before the game.
Oh,
the attitude that you have, you were going to win.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought that there was kind of like a hot dogs. No.
Ours was a kids camp. Ours was a our locker room was a beehive. Like you came in and you're like you had to have your head on a swivel because like if you even wore a wrong colored shoe or something, which there is no right color, but just everyone's like, what the hell are those? Like you're getting made fun of immediately, and you got
even if you're wearing the right ones.
Who's coming at you? But it's like it's all in good fun and good jest. Where it's like you literally go to the field with a smile on your face because you're like I can't wait to talk crap with everybody and get going. It's like that is a luxury to be able to like to say that you're like I'm excited to go to work every day.
Do you ever go fly drones with Bauer?
You know what's funny?
That's your boy.
2 weeks after that happened, I actually cut my finger on a drone blade.
Yeah?
But mine was not bad as his. I'm like, you got soft skin.
Oh, my God.
Listen,
How wild
when you
was
say
that?
it's like I don't. Do I stay in touch with him? No. Do I? Am I against him? No, I'm not. He's different, and that's okay. You're allowed to be different, and you don't have to like every teammate. You just got to respect him.
You got to play together.
You gotta play together.
He
Respect
was a
it,
gamer, too.
buddy. He was when it was his turn to take the ball. Yeah, he
Yes.
fucking.
I have never seen a starting pitcher having the most strange workout the day that he's pitching. He will come out with all these different looking equipment.
Now have something
Does he?
like that. He's nasty.
I will. You can say what you want about his personality because it is open to interpretation from other people. That's sure. But in terms of his analytical side, his brain side of studying the game, studying his body, studying spin rate, all
Science
this stuff,
and everything, yeah.
the gap between him and the second pitcher of just how much work he puts in or how much like attention to detail, it was so much lower. It's like the front office or something where it's like they probably butted heads a good amount of times. Not probably. Yeah. And then it's like, but he was so far ahead that they're like met each other and they're like, can you teach us about analytics, Trevor? They're like, they had their tail between their legs. They're like, they hated to come to him. And he's like, they're like, we need help understanding this. He's like,
I'll never forget when he threw that ball over center field fence.
Oh my
the funniest
God.
part is John McDonald, like, looked like he was scared, like he thought he was throwing it at him. He
that wasn't
ducked out of the way. Was it
You're showing your age. John McDonald was like
Who was second
7
place,
years
second base?
earlier. Mike Freeman.
Mike Freeman.
Mike Freeman. I had the day off, and I was inside making a sandwich. Well, I just like played like 15 straight, and I'm like, so I was just like, I knew I wasn't going in. It was one of those ones where it's like, hey, you're completely down today. I was like, thank God, because it's hot in Kansas City, and I'm making a sandwich, watching it on TV, and I see it. I'm like. And I can see Tito yelling at him like on the screen. He's like, go way down there for me. So I drop my sandwich and I go run down to like hide behind the wall so I can listen to it.
Nobody knows this. He just said to us here. Oh my God, that was the But you know who was in that game? Mahomes. the Kansas City Royal quarterback. Watch, he said, "Oh my God, this guy got a better arm."
Yeah, he's a good arm. He's a good arm.
It was special. It was special. My friend, if you're a fan,
Yeah.
today, like now, you are doing the TV, you're doing the radio and stuff like that. But you're a fan. What you want to say to our fans, the Cleveland Guardians fans, to go and see the teams that we have right now?
It's the same kind of thing where there, any city fans, you're gonna have some stuff to be frustrated with. You're gonna wish some front office spent more. You're gonna wish some players came here or something like that. You're just gonna be beating a dead horse at sometimes. But the way they have done and the way this organization has done and the teams, the way that they've competed for and the runs that they've given, believe me, we want a championship to come here as much as you guys do. That's what we play for in the end anyways. These guys give it their all, and it is so much better. And sure, you could say it's selfishly coming from the player side, but it's so much better when you play in front of people rather than an empty stadium. And is it not more fun when you go to a game and it's full instead of an empty game?
Yeah.
Like if you're part of a packed house, it's the best.
Yes.
The vibe, the aura of it, just like the
I was a
energy you
teenager
could
when
feel.
Carlos was playing, and it's so much better.
It's just the energy of the night. It's like going to a live music concert. Like just the energy you can feel. You're like, oh, this is awesome just to be here. And it's like help us, help you, help yourselves. Like life's better at a full house.
Yes.
It really is for everyone involved. So I guess that's the way I'll say it, to come support your team because you're going to get more out of it too that way.
One more question for you, Terry Francona. I know you're not surprised by what he's doing in Cincinnati because you live there. You were led by him. I have met him a couple of times, and I think he's one of the most enjoyable characters I ever met, and not even talked about baseball with him. How amazing was it? How special was your time with Tito?
It started off so cool because of who you were getting. You knew the Boston championships, and you knew that he had just done ESPN, and you get a glimpse into his personality of just like, you hear he's this jokester, a little bit of a prankster and all this stuff, and just funny. And he's just everything and more. He's just he's a coach, manager you want to play for. And it's because like he doesn't really ask you to do too much that he would never ask of himself. He doesn't ask you to do anything that you're not capable of. He puts you in the best position to succeed, and he has your back almost all the times. And when I say almost, because there might be a time where it's like, he can't have your back on this one, like you're screwed up or something like that. But he's just someone where he has your back and all that stuff, and have the great relationship that he builds with his players. He's like, you're going to go out and bust your ass for him every day of the week. So it was an enjoyment and an absolute pleasure to play for him for as long as I did.
All right, as usual, I got to ask the strange questions. Carlos knows I'm a big hot dog eater guy. Is it true you eat corn dogs with a fork? And if so, I read it on the internet. I looked up fun facts for Jason Kipnis, and it said Jason Kipnis eats his corn dogs with a fork, and I'm like,
that sounds like
so it's not true.
That sounds like a message board or like something you write on a poster when you're trying to like make fun of someone. Like,
I'm glad it's not true because I'm not gonna lie. I was like, who eats their corn dog with a fork? So I'm glad I got to dispel that rumor there.
Wow.
I will say this, and I know it's a cardinal sin in Chicago, but I do put ketchup on my hot dogs.
I don't put anything on mine.
Good.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't eat ketchup.
You want that to go?
Now it's ketchup, mustard, and onion, but before it was just straight ketchup.
Good. Wow, what an honor we have today to have Jason Kipnis, two-time All-Star with us, and a blessed to have you here. Thank you to be with us today.
You ask, I'm coming, buddy. This was actually one of the more enjoyable things I've done in a while. This is awesome.
Thank you, man. Enjoy your gig on the TV side.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yes, God bless. Let's get back with the Carlos Baerga Show.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Carlos Baerga Show. I got to talk to Cody Dross, who is the guy who does the amazing drawings for all the shows on the Big Play Network. If you, by the way, if you haven't downloaded the app to your phone, you should, because you can catch your phone.
I have it.
I gotta ask him, because that mustache looks more like Freddie Mercury's mustache than your mustache from your playing days. So I don't know.
My Jack is trying to be like, Jack, that guy Jack?
Yeah.
He's trying to get a growing mustache like me. I say, Jack, please, keep it suave. But you know who's growing a mustache?
Yeah.
Bieber.
Do you hear why?
Shane Bieber is growing a mustache. Yesterday he threw in the bullpen. Thank you, God. Please, we need him.
Do you know why he's wearing a mustache?
Why?
Do you know?
No, I don't.
Positive Jake? First of all, it's part of the Guards headlines, but he's wearing a mustache on purpose, because when he won the Cy Young Award that season, he had a beard, and he's had a kid since. So he wants his kid to know. That would be the mark for his kid to know that is dad after the injury.
Wow. You see,
and he's wearing the beard.
See, Carlos
He was
Baerga did something pretty good here in
the
Cleveland. Beard was when he won the Cy Young before the injury, and the mustache is gonna be for his kid to know. It's kind of like a mark for his kid to know that's his dad after the injury. So I guess he's having serious plans to come back, because he's trying to impress his kid. And he threw. Now we gotta wait for the report whether or not he felt some pain, which he will after a surgery. You usually feel pains, but this is a slow process, and I think the Guardians are doing the right thing to making sure that Shane Bieber comes back healthy, as opposed to rushing him back and have a setback.
So you're telling me that it's the rumors of the 95 tapes getting sent to Bieber and him seeing Carlos's old stash aren't true?
No, that's fake news. Fake news.
Oh, it's fake news.
Always fake news, Jay.
But I was scared last week when they slow him down and say, they sit down and say, they're going to send him to the doctor. I say, oh, my God, don't tell me that coming back again. But, I'm happy. I watched him throw yesterday. He was loose. He throw like 20 pitches. I was really good, too. So I hope that he's going to pitch again, I think, on Monday. So that can be the good news for us. I hope. I don't want him to pitch right now.
Yeah.
I want him to pitch at least in July.
And I'm not gonna be like always positive Jake here, saying that he played shortstop for 20 years and trying to show off. Trying to show off.
You should have seen the face of Rafa.
Trying to show off in front of Jason Kipnis. But I do tell you, I have had surgeries before.
Yes.
And when you start doing the rehab, pain after you do the rehab is normal. Yes. And I think what the Guardians did was talk to the doctors, and the doctors said, you know what, maybe it's a little bit too much pain. You're not ready. Take a break, take a week off, and see how you recover from the pain. Because usually that's the good thing. When you recover from the pain, then that means that you're actually making a comeback from whatever, in his case, a lot more serious than I ever had. But, we have a 20-year man, a 20-year vet here. I don't know what league. I think he played in the Shawshank Redemption League.
PJ. Rafa's got 20 years at left out, so that's whatever, man.
No, but his Rafa's father was, the Bo Jackson from El Salvador. Yeah. It was unbelievable.
I didn't get any of the genes, but hey.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna bring it up. You said it, not me.
Talking about people that's coming back like Bieber. Yesterday we got Jimenez back in here. We got Straw. We got Ernie Clements. We got the pitcher. Sandlin was here yesterday too. So there was a good news. I talked to Jimenez yesterday about it. How we feel. How hard it was for him to get traded from here, and it was hard because he say we went through the playoff last year, and I think we have the team to come back again. So it was kind of hard a little bit. His whole family is gonna be here tonight too. So it was a special moment what he have here in Cleveland.
Did you talk to him before or after the game?
Before the game.
Because I was gonna say if he was after you should have asked him why did he bring his platinum glove, man? He should have left it there. That play he had on who was it? On Angel Martinez, no?
Rodriguez.
Oh yeah. Because Rodriguez was running with half the piano.
Yes.
But that was still a great play.
What is with players that come back here and they always play good against us, man?
I did my first at bat here. I hit a homer.
Probably.
I hit a homer.
With who? With the Red Sox or the Mets?
No, that was with Washington or San Diego.
Okay.
I was playing with that. So, it always feels good when you play against your team. You want to do good. It's hard when a player don't do good. He feels so bad.
Bad news for the Guardians, man. He looked like he snapped out of the snide that he was in because he had a hit.
Yes.
A couple of hits he got on base, and he had that play. He got thrown out on the replay that I thought was safe, but I don't count. It's the guys in New York that count, but he was safe. But for anything other than that, what do you got for the guards?
No. I was talking every time some player comes here, you know what they do. You remember Benson?
Mm-hmm.
Benson from Cincinnati. He killed. He killed.
Yeah.
Homer and stuff like that. So
the guy that's batting like 1,000 against the Guardians.
I don't want nobody to play with us to come back here, okay? Stay over there, stay home, or don't play for those days, but that's special. My friend, we are playing Toronto. Next week on with St. Louis. So we need to come back and win this series. You said to us that they come back. Our team came back from the road. Mm-hmm. We did pretty good. We need 2 series. We need to come back, and that's what we need to do before the All-Star game. We need to be close. We cannot be playing. We're thinking about Detroit. Detroit already became yesterday the first team to win 50 games. So they playing really good. You have to tip the hat right now, but it's not how you start. It's how you finish. So we need to play better.
And I think again the pitching staff has been doing a great job. Yes. We're lucky we're getting the Cardinals at home here because they're really good at home. They don't have a winning record on the road, and I think Friday is going to be a big game because we're going to be hopefully looking to win the series. We have that big day in terms of the fireworks and all the party that we have at the fieldhouse, at the Progressive Field. And you see always positive Jake wearing one of the Friday T-shirts that we have given away this year. So
yes.
I guess you only go on Fridays to the ballpark.
I go when my wife lets me go.
Oh, that's a good man. That's a good man. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with a little more of the guard. We're going to take a drive around MLB on the Carlos Baerga Show.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com.
De regreso con ustedes en el show de Carlos Baerga en el Big Play Network. Oh, we're now in the Guardians.
This is not the radio.
Oh, I'm sorry. We welcome back, everybody.
The number uno show.
The Carlos Baerga Show. El número 9, Carlos Baerga, always positive Jake, and yours truly, Rafa Hernandez Brito. And what do we got here for the rest of the week and what's coming up for the Guardians? What's going on? What's going on in the MLB? First of all, CLE Guardians/vote. Yes. Send our guys to the All-Star game. Yes. I know we're a little late here trying to get the mustache back with Mansardo because he kind of hit a little slump. But I think we need to help Stephen Kwan. Yes. Make it as an outfielder. We need to continue to support Jose Ramirez. I'm actually shocked at the support that he's getting outside of Ohio with leading the third baseman voting by almost 1 million. So keep contributing with that. CLEGuardians.com/vote. And we got to send our guys it got to be at least Clase, Kwan,
Ramirez.
And Ramirez.
Those 3 guys have to be there, and I hope that we get more. Maybe one of our relievers too. They've always been pitching good. Yesterday, Hunter got the biggest run against him. Mm-hmm. 3 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and a homer, a grand slam by Springer. But that happens. That's gonna happen to you. You're not gonna go the full year without they don't do anything to you. But something that we have tonight we have Gavin Williams. Tomorrow, Tane Bybee. Then Luis Ortiz and Steve Cassoni. They've been pitching good. So I think that we are in a good place right now.
Exactly, especially with Logan Allen allowing runs last night was the first time in 3 or 4 games that the starters have allowed runs. So we had our first complete game on this road trip with Tanner Bybee on a losing effort, but still 8 innings of ball that he threw very well. So I think I have the faith. Unfortunately, our bullpen for periods of time in this season have shown to be human. Yes. Herring has had not a good season. Gaddis has been hit like he did last night. But at the end of the day, we're still in the hunt for the wild card, which is a battle, but with a lot of teams are fighting for. And again, this doesn't end until it's over, right? So Detroit might be in first place right now, but who knows?
We are in 1.5 games. to be in the wild card right now. So we need to do it. I think we have the team, we have the pitching, and if Beaver come back, I think it's gonna be really good for all. See what is getting better. I heard the other pitcher, we got a righty. Stefan is getting better today throwing. So I think we getting healthier, and that's very important for us to be a winner. So I would like to see our fans in the ballpark. Let's be there this week. Today we play 2 more games against Toronto and three games against the San Luis Cardinals, and I want to see you there.
And I want to thank you and everybody for tuning in, for having me over.
You, Rafa.
And I want you to relax. Gab is coming back next week on the Carlos Baerga Show.
Yeah, I promise you don't have to look at Rafa's face on our show all the time.
Bueno pa bailar. Oiga, Rafa, thank you.
Nos vemos.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting